So thank you, Pennsylvania, very much. I'm thrilled to be in Latrobe, the home of the late, great, my friend, Arnold Palmer. What a great guy he was. What a great guy. Thank you very much. 61 days from now, we're going to win the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and we are going to win 4 more years in the White House. Joe Biden wants to surrender your jobs to China. You know that. His son walked out with a lot of money for doing nothing, right? He wants to surrender your nation to the radical left-wing mob. He's trying to change now. You know, he's saying that's not working because we're going up and he's dropping like a rock in water. And before the China virus, this election was over. Now I had to go back to work, and we've done a great job on it. We don't get the credit. We don't get the credit. We made a lot of governors look very good. But I will keep your jobs in America, and I'll bring rioters, looters, violent extremists, anarchists. We will bring them to justice. That's what we're doing right now. We have over 400 right now under arrest. These are bad people. Over the last 3.5 years, we've secured America's borders, fixed our broken trade deals, rebuilt the United States military, obliterated the ISIS caliphate 100%, secured American energy independence, and built the single greatest economy in the history of the world. And now we're going to do it again. Have to do it again. Have to do it again. Got to do it again. And it's happening. You see what's happening. Job numbers, retail sale numbers are all at records. It's happening. It's happening very fast. It's actually happening in a super V. Not a V. It's a super V. And you'll see that. And big numbers are coming out and have come out. And just watch your set. Or watch your newspaper, read your newspaper. You're seeing numbers that, Congressman, we haven't seen those numbers ever before, actually. We've never seen them. And by the way, we have record stock markets. We have record everything. You're going to have an incredible economic year next year. Your stocks are going up. Your 401ks are through the roof. Had a little pause today. People wanted to take some profits, and probably somebody said something stupid along the way. But the stock market's at record levels. Think of it. In the hopefully rounding the turn on the pandemic, we're rounding that turn, and vaccines are coming along great. You know that the job that they've done, the doctors, everybody else, we're years ahead of schedule. Anybody else as president, you wouldn't be talking about vaccines for 2 or 3 years from now, I'll tell you right now. That I can tell you. Biden will never be able to protect your jobs or your family. He is a puppet of the socialists, Marxists, and the cop-hating extremists, and they are cop-hating. And we love our law enforcement. We love our law enforcement. And by the way, we have, I don't know if you saw this, if there's any way of you seeing it, we have thousands of people behind this hangar. Thousands, and we're trying to get them in. And I'd love to get them in. I mean, it's an airport, let them go to the runways, okay? Let them in. We have, I mean, literally there, we landed. I actually thought that was the crowd. You know, we're doing the hangar thing now because the arenas can't do it because of the pandemic for a little while. But in certain ways, I like this better. I don't have to travel. I get off the plane, I make a speech, I get the hell out of here, right? Now these are great. You remember the last days before the campaign? I'd do a lot of them a day. Get off that plane. It was a little different plane. It was black and white instead of the blue and white. But we had some time, and that was an important day, and that was an important year. 2016 But I will tell you, the election that we have coming up is the single most important election in the history of this country. And we had a level of enthusiasm. I mean, even look today, with all going on, look at the kind of crowds we have. But we had record enthusiasm in 2016. By the way, was that the greatest evening ever? November. And now it's going to be November 3rd. And we'll keep it going, and we'll get it all like a tree. You move that tree, it takes a little while to plant, your tax cuts. They're going to raise your taxes. They're going to take away your guns. It's really, if you look. And you know, they'll criticize me for saying this, the fake news media, which is back there. With their fake polls. The same as last year, we could just put it all on tape. The fake polls, the fake everything. You know, they're called suppression polls. They're meant to make you depressed. Are you depressed? You don't look depressed. The real numbers, and we have the real numbers, we're leading everywhere. We are leading everywhere. I'll tell you, I think we're way ahead of what we were 4 years ago, and there's far more enthusiasm. Our base is bigger, it's stronger, and we've done the greatest job. Again, if we didn't get hit by the plague from China, this thing, we wouldn't have even, between us, I would have canceled, Mr. Congressman, most of the rallies. I wouldn't have needed a rally. That's a little bit unfair, but that's okay. That's what China's done to our nation. They've screwed us for a long time on a lot of different ways. No, never has anybody ripped off our nation like China. And I've taken in billions and billions of dollars. We never took in 10 cents from China. And I gave $28 billion, right? $28 billion to the farmers because they were targeted unfairly by China, and our farmers are very unhappy. I don't think we have too many farmers in this wonderful Pennsylvania town. I know we have a lot of Boilermakers over there. We got a lot of Boilermakers. I'll be talking about them. Look at those guys. Nobody going to mess with them, I'll tell you. We're going to be talking about them in a minute, but for the entire summer, Biden was silent as far-left rioters viciously attacked law enforcement in Democrat-run cities hall, burned down businesses, terrorized civilians, and just recently marched through the streets chanting, "Death to America." This is what we have, death to America. And by the way, we could end it like immediately. You saw what we did in Wisconsin. It ended. Took a while for the governor. You know, they have to ask us in. It's like otherwise we have to do something much bigger, and it's totally unnecessary. The National Guard's fantastic. I went to see him 2 days ago. Biden went there today. There was nobody there. There was nobody there. He was a little late. I was going to say, hey, listen, we ended that problem. But we could end it in Portland. Wise guys in Portland. Anarchists. They're agitators. They're looters. I'll tell you, we could end it in Portland in a half an hour. We did it in Seattle. We told them, we're coming in. You either end it or we're coming in. Congressman, we were going in the next day. We were all set. I was actually disappointed, to be honest. They ended it in Seattle. They took over 20% of the city. Do you believe this? And the mayor said, no, it's going to be a summer of love. These people are crazy. So we end them very quickly. We end them very quickly. And now what we're doing is we're holding back funds for cities that don't know what they're doing, where they allow crime to run rampant. And we put a 10-year prison sentence on anybody that knocks down a statue. I took out an old ordinance, a very old one, because today in Congress you don't get things like that. Today they think that you should just have no cash bail. You know, they do the no cash bail. You kill somebody, there's no bail. Don't worry about it. Go out. But I took out an old ordinance. I gave a new executive order. It says 10 years in prison. And amazingly, that was like 3.5 months ago. And they were having a big march on Washington, march elsewhere. And amazingly, that was the end of the statues coming down. No statues. And we're actually prosecuting people for having done it. We made it retroactive to the beginning. Terrible. And by the way, the state statues and monuments, they have to do the same thing. It's real easy. But the rioters that want Biden to win, they want him to win because their agenda is an agenda. It's what they want. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. They both want to cut funding for police. They want to end that cash bail. They want to hire far-left prosecutors and judges and let the criminals run wild. The radical left district attorney in Portland, Mike Schmidt, his name is, has released hundreds of rioters and announced that anyone arrested for interfering with police officers, disorderly conduct, criminal trespass, rioting, and other offenses will not be prosecuted under any circumstance. Oh, it's worse. It's worse. You have somebody in Philadelphia who's worse, right? Worse. In his manifesto with Bernie Sanders, that's what it is. Biden agreed to all these things. You notice now? No, I never said about fracking. I never said, if you don't do fracking in Pennsylvania, 900,000 jobs and your energy bills will triple. Other than that, I don't think you should have it, okay? No, but he said in the manifesto, plus he said many times, we put on the clip yesterday where no fracking, no this, no that. I mean, no guns. How about guns? No guns, no Second Amendment. Biden has pledged to appoint prosecutors who will extend these insane far-left policies nationwide. That's what he's done. That's called the manifesto. He agreed to all this stuff. The craziest thing, you're supposed to bring it to the right. He actually brought it further left. Bernie never dreamt that this was possible. Crazy Bernie. Do you know Crazy Bernie? I had a lot of his voters come to me 4 years ago. A big percentage. You know why? Because I agree with him, and he agrees with me on one thing, trade. The trade. Because he knew that other countries are ripping us off, and so did I. Nobody else got it, especially Biden. Never got it. He never got it. Still doesn't get it. Now he really gets nothing, I'll tell you. He didn't get it in prime time. Now he really doesn't get it. But it's okay for them to make every city look just like Portland, which is a disaster. And again, we could clean it up. We just go right through it. 5,000, 10,000, right through it. These guys are tough, they're smart, and they love our country. They love our country. We'll clean it up in 1/2 hour. It'll be over. Did you see this radical left mayor, Wheeler, his name is, the radical left mayor? They chased him, Mike. They chased him out of his home last night. And all he does is be nice to them because they don't understand nice. They only understand one thing, strength. That's the only thing they understand. They don't understand nice. They chased him out of his home. Unbelievable. Biden's plan is to appease the domestic terrorists, and my plan is to arrest them and prosecute them. And I will always defend law-abiding citizens. That's why the rioters are voting for Biden and the law enforcement people. We have it from everybody. We just got the sheriffs in Florida, all of them. We got Ohio, we got Texas, we got North Carolina, we got South Carolina, we got everybody. I don't know if there's anybody, and I see Rick Perry right there. Rick Perry, what are you doing here, Rick?